got two. We've got one. All right, we are recording. Welcome, everyone. My name's Abel Prieto, and I'm coming to you live from Miami, Florida. I'm excited to be here with you guys. As you guys know, you're probably here live with us. If not, catch the recording on my YouTube channel. Make sure to follow me on YouTube. Turn on the little notification bell there so that you know exactly when our webinars are live on YouTube. And we've got a wealth of information there. So if you're with us live, thank you for being here. We got people here from all parts of the world, from the U.S., from Chile. We got people here from Andorra, from Spain, from different parts of the world. And that's the opportunity that you and I have today. If we do the right things to really, if we take our business seriously, we can build a multi-million-dollar online global travel business. The likes have never been seen before. And today we've got a special webinar. I'm going to be interviewing my good friend Bianca from Andorra. Bianca's story is awesome. You're going to get to learn a little bit about Bianca. The reason she's our guest is because she's a brand new marketing director. And, we've said it before, marketing director, even though it's the very first rank, even though it's the rank that requires obviously the smallest amount of volume and team production, I've always said that it's probably, in most cases, for most people, and there are exceptions, the most difficult rank to achieve because it's the very first one. You're brand new in the business. You're still learning this. You're still figuring out what works for you, what doesn't work. You still don't have a huge team that's helping you with the numbers. It's pretty much you and maybe a couple more people that are excited about the opportunity. And even though it's the very first rank, I'm telling you, it's the most important rank in the company. This company is built by marketing directors. The way you advance to senior marketing directors by helping marketing directors rank advance. And the way you keep going up through the ranks is through helping others get promoted. And, it is a big deal to become a marketing director. And today we've got our special guest live from Andorra, and she's a great friend of mine, of Cruises. She's part of Rodrigo Carvajal's team, who's part of Jonathan's team, who's part of my team in Andorra. She's a brand new marketing director. I'm not going to steal her thunder. I'm going to let her tell her story. So please help me welcome to the virtual stage, brand new marketing director, Bianca. Bianca, where are you?
Hi.
All right, there she is.
Thank you so much, Abel, for this wonderful introduction. And as always, with this energy of you, it's fantastic.
Thank you for joining us. I want to congratulate you on your brand new rank. I know it's a big deal, and I know you're just getting started. I know you're not stopping there, but man, like I was saying, marketing director, that's, for a lot of people, it's sometimes the toughest one to achieve because, your team isn't huge yet and you're still figuring things out. So I think it's great to have a brand new marketing director on the stage with us today because, there's a lot of people that still haven't gotten there, right? There's a lot of people that are still fighting to get there. And I want everyone to learn about you and know your story. And I'm going to ask you some questions, maybe some tips that our people could use in their business. So again, congratulations, Bianca. I'm so very proud of you.
Thank you so much.
I love your attitude. I love your positive energy. You are a true student of the business. You are someone that really takes pride in being a professional, in understanding, the inner workings of our business. You study the business. You've got a beautiful team of up-and-coming superstars, and they're very, very lucky to have you. So I want to start with this. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? What were you doing when Cruises was introduced to you, and how did it happen? Who was it that brought you to the business? Tell us a little bit about your very beginnings.
Okay, perfect. Now, yeah, my life is travel. So since I was 19 years old, I'm into travel business. So really, I already, within Cruises, of course, I'm just Bianca, but outside of the Cruises business, I was already a travel business because I had an incoming travel agency. So really, the Cruises thing started in COVID times because in the COVID era, I was reflecting on everything, and I was thinking, do I really want what I'm doing? I mean, I like what I'm doing because I'm making people fall in love with Andorra and surroundings, so it's quite easy. And it's really
Andorra's a
beautiful as
beautiful
well.
place.
Yeah, really. So I do that with tour operators. So I work B2B. I don't work individually to people, but I always go to tour operators. So on the B2B market. And I liked what I did, but the only thing that every time when I try to leverage, then I was trying to get people inside of the business, of course, and you try to get the right people on board. But when they are salary thinking, so there are people that are not don't have an entrepreneur mindset, then it's difficult to motivate them. And when they have an entrepreneur mindset, they don't stay very long because they, of course, they want also their business, and logical. It's normal. I did the same thing. So then I was reflecting on what can I do, and just at that moment, I mean, it was COVID time, so we had a lot of time to think. We had also a lot of time not to travel, and of course, I didn't have any clients. So at that moment, I saw also how vulnerable my business was, and then I saw Rodrigo, that was already a friend of mine. He captured me when I was visiting his former restaurant, because he had a restaurant before. And there I saw him always working as a slave and never having time for anything. I had great fun with him because he also always made really nice shows with Jägerbomb, we call it, with the beers and then the Jägermeister on top. And
I've seen it.
The whole show of it was really, really wonderful. Yeah, I believe you lived it as well, no?
Yeah.
I did as well. And also we had karaoke in his restaurant. So we had a great times over there. But then I always saw him slave. So then I never saw him outside of his restaurant business. So that was his life almost, you know. And I know that this wasn't really the thing he wanted, but at that moment it was what he had. And then I saw him on social media, because of course in COVID times we also had time for social media. And then I saw Rodri traveling, or at least before COVID, and also even as soon as the COVID period of not traveling was over, I saw him traveling again. And I thought, shit, what is he doing? I mean, he was in his restaurant. What is he doing now, you know? So I took contact with him again. And I said, Rodrigo, what are you doing now? I see you much happier. I see you traveling around. What are you doing at the moment? You're not in your restaurant anymore. And then he told me the whole story. And he said, let's go for a coffee. We went for a coffee. It was very interesting what he told me, and I really liked it. But I was doubting a lot, because at that moment I also was involved in another network marketing business. Okay, so then he got Jonathan to help him, and together, yeah, I couldn't say no.
That's the beauty of having an upline in the business, right?
Correct. Yeah. So together, Rodri and Jonathan took away all my objections and took away all my doubts, and then I thank them for that, both of them. And then I started, but I started still with the other network marketing next to it. So during 3 years, my first 3 years, I was from 2020 when I entered, 14th of December 2020 until May 2023. I was doing both network marketing companies together, and that doesn't work. So tip to everybody, don't do that.
First tip number one.
Yeah. So then, of course, I had to make a decision. Which one? And then really I looked into my heart, and I really knew, I mean, travel is my thing. I mean, it goes through my veins. So, I mean, it's travel, and it's not a product that I have to stock, that I have to worry about if it gets to the people or not, and things like that. So that was really also bothering me. And then I made the decision of cruises. So I thought, yes, now we're really going for it. But still I was up, down, up, down, up, down. I wasn't consistent.
So the other business was not a travel business.
Sorry, the other business was not a travel business. Gotcha. It was products. So
those physical products, maybe health and wellness, or
yes, yeah, health. So it was a little bit as well that, for example, when I was doubting about the two companies, it was a very good company and very good products as well. But the problem was I was taking them and I was buying a lot of them because, of course, you have to buy your products and everything. And then you see your stock in your kitchen, and you think, do I really need that? So, and then that was also a thing that made me think more. And in the end, I knew travel is my thing. So I just decided, and I think that the first decision, of course, I made 14th of December 2020, but I wasn't really in it. And then the second decision I made in June 2023, after because I had some success in the other business. I went to Bahamas and everything paid by them, and so. But when I then came back, I decided no, it's in cruises. So then still, as I said, I wasn't consistent enough. But now I've also my last travel, Disney. Okay, that was in last November 2023. I was lucky because really one of my business partners, Esther Estragues, she made an error, and she, I will explain that to anybody who wants in another moment, but she made an error and she booked Disney, but she put a second name that wasn't real because she was really comparing, but she went to the end, so she booked. Oh. And then she said to me, "Oh, Bianca, I booked this trip, Disney. I love Disney, but of course, I mean, I wasn't going to go, at that time, or I didn't know yet." I say, "What time did you book?" She said, "In November." I said, "Okay, in November I'm free. I'm going with you." And she said, "Really?" I said, "Of course." I said, "Just ask support if they can arrange it, if they can solve that problem, and then I go with you." And I had a great time, thanks to Esther.
Wow.
So, the next cruise, I will invite her.
What happened?
The next time, the next cruise, I will invite her because she invited me. I will invite her. And that's also nice because she will be 50 years this year. So then we go for a cruise with her as well.
Wow.
Yeah. But the beautiful thing was when we went then on the Disney cruise, that was great. So I really can recommend to everybody to go on the Disney, to go and try Disney. It's really, really nice. Different than the other ones, but really, really nice. And we went to Puerto Rico. And one of the places where we went, because we went from Puerto Rico then to Bahamas, and then we would end in New Orleans. So it was really in Galveston. And then from Galveston, we take a car and we went to New Orleans. So it was also beautiful. But the nice thing was when we were on our way from Miami to Puerto Rico, I thought, I'm also in the translation team of Incruises, and doing German translation from English. And then I thought I will call Mike Hutchinson Jr., to see if he's there, to see if we can have a beer. And he said, "No, I'm not there, but my father is." And I thought, "Oh no, shit! Will I dare to text him? But I don't have his WhatsApp number." No, I will send it to you. And then we met with Hutch, and that was, of course, I mean, there it was like the little things that maybe would still be like how do you say that, a barrier for me. It was
barriers or doubts.
Yeah, that I knew I'm in the right place, right time, right people, right everything.
Wow, that's awesome. And Bianca, where are you from originally? Because I know you live in Andorra now, but where are you from?
I'm living in Andorra already for 30 years.
30?
30, yeah. Wow. I came for one winter. So also,
and you couldn't leave.
If you go to Andorra, it might be that you're staying.
Wow. No, I've been there. Andorra is one of my favorite places in the world. I remember when Frank Codina, when we were at our prior company, he would tell us, "One day I'm going to live in Andorra," and he does. He's got a place there. Yeah. It's such a beautiful, special place. For those of you that don't know, it's a country that's right in the middle of Spain and France.
Yeah, we always say between Spanish sun and life as God in France.
Wow, that is awesome.
And it's the mountains are fantastic. When you are, for example, when you have a stressy day, you just go in the mountains 5 minutes, and it's like you are in another world. It's fantastic.
That is awesome. Really, that is great. And let me ask you this: obviously, you got started.
I didn't say I'm from the Netherlands.
You're from the Netherlands. Okay, that's right. You're from the Netherlands. But how many languages do you speak?
6.5.
Which is the half?
I could really say 7 because it's 2 halves.
Okay.
Because, It's what the halves are Portuguese and Italian because I understand them perfectly because I can, but I cannot speak them. I don't
Okay.
feel confident enough. But I speak Dutch, German, English, French, Spanish, and Catalan.
Oh my goodness. You speak Catalan too?
Yes, CC.
I think Andorra is the only country where the official language is Catalan, no?
Correct. Yeah.
Wow, that is awesome. Well, so you got started during the pandemic, which is a tough time for anyone to start a business, especially in travel. And I know it's taken you a while to get your business going. I know that recently you made a decision to really just, go for it all the way. What do you say to other people that maybe they're not advancing as fast as they wanted to, maybe they're having tough times, maybe they're having a hard time prospecting or getting the results, but like they're still here, they're still, they haven't left the business. What's been the secret to you saying, you know what, I want to keep going, I really want to make this happen?
Now, yeah, the first thing, of course, I mean, I already knew that I want this now for a long time, since June 2023. I really decided I want this. But the problem of me, and I think of a lot of people as well, is that we continue learning. That's very nice, but of course you have to put the action. And that was my problem, and I suppose a lot of people with me. So maybe you listening to me, you can make that click as well. So now in November I already had another click, and then in December, of course, we always reflect now for the new year. So then you decide again what you're going to do and everything. And now I said, yes, no, shit, I'm going to do it. I mean, I cannot wait any longer. I must show, and I really must put action to it. And of course, overcome fears, because you still have fears. The fear of calling somebody, the fear of really saying, "Come on, let's meet, let's talk," and then also the fear of, I don't like the word closing, but at the moment, for example, I have loads of contacts, and I have also, I believe, registered. I have 335 people, but
Wow.
the problem is they have to come to the end phase where they say yes or no. And I have a lot of people like this still, so that I have to get over the line. So, and then in January I had a few people that were thinking, shall we not? And I said, come on, it's the moment, it's the time. But it was really the 31st of January when I was closing 3 people. So that was that was a little bit race against the clock. And I've always seen the others do it. I've seen Stefania do it. I've seen Jonathan talked about it. You've talked about it. Rodri talked about it. But I never did it that way. And then I saw, shit, it works, because you put your vibration. You are like a high vibration. And at that moment, time didn't exist. I mean, I remember I was calling Rodri. I said, I believe I need one more. And he says, no, Bianca, look at your back office. You're there already.
Wow. What a nice surprise.
It was funny. Yeah. So but
Yeah,
now, of course, I still have to do the work and keep it. I mean, yeah, now I have to maintain it. It's also
exactly.
not easy. But
Well, I think you hit on a
and
couple of
also,
very,
sorry, another thing, because one of my team members, Esther, she made team leader. So she also helped, of course.
awesome.
That was really, really good as well. That was also, you know,
That's awesome. It's not only about us succeeding, but
no,
helping other people succeed.
correct. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you hit on a couple of big points there. I hope our people are taking notes. One is, yes, you have to analyze and study, but you got to get into action.
Yeah.
She talked about, her making a decision. In my prior company, I was in that company for 4 years and I hadn't hit the biggest rank. And when I really made a decision and then I backed that up with action, which is your other point, 4 months later, I hit the highest rank in that company. So making a decision, overcoming your fears. I think it's important that you say that, because a lot of times our people, they look at us or they see people that have big ranks and they're like, oh, they don't have fears. Oh, yes, we do. We do, you do, I do. We have doubts, we have concerns, but you overcome them. You get past them. I tell people all the time, what's bigger, your fears or your goals and your dreams? Well, if your goals and dreams are bigger, then you're going to overcome the fear. So I think that's awesome that you were able to do that.
No,
And
and still loads to learn, of course. But I think that action is more important than, I mean, keeping on learning, of course, is important. But I have to minimize that a little bit and put more action. So, and also what I noticed is, for example, sometimes we complicate it too much. We have just to get back to the simple, get back to the basics, because it's really, it's Naya. I mean, I love Jaime Loquier. I don't know if a lot of people of you follow him as well, but he's also Naya. He always says he's the upline. That's not your upline, but he's network marketing in general. And for example, he has a very good book as well. I don't only know the title in Spanish, but Redes de Liderazgo, so I can't.
Redes de liderazgo, so leadership redes, leadership networks.
Yeah, but it's really very good. And he, for example, talks about SIP-SIPs or SIPSI, and it's contacting, inviting, presenting, closing, and then initiating. So helping the person initiate,
Get started,
and then promotion of events. So it's so easy, you know. It's like a structure. It's so easy. We just have to do it. But the problem is that sometimes that we have so many things. We lose so much time being busy that we don't put the action where we need to put it. So that's a thing that I'm still working on. I don't have it all figured out, but I mean, I'm still working on that. But I think I'm on the right path now. And also, I made another decision because 2025, reflecting on 2025, I decided 25 times 25. And I will explain. 25 direct.
What's that about? What's that about? I like the sound of that.
It's very easy. So it sounds very easy. Now I have to do it, okay? But I have to help 25 people that want to be helped, okay? To find 25 direct or indirect people each. So I have to find 25 direct. So I have to give the good example, okay? And then they all have to go for 25 direct or indirect. Doesn't matter.
I love that.
And then we talk about 625 people, I believe. So then I'm looking forward to national director. I mean, that's my goal.
That's it. So if you go get 25 and you help them get their 25, you're looking at a national director rank.
Correct.
That's that's right at a six-figure income. A $5,000 bonus. It could be up to $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 in residuals plus other forms of compensation. So that's a beautiful way to look at it. I love that. I hope you guys are taking notes, man. She's giving you gems here. She's giving you gold, diamonds. What a simple way to look at the business. Lead by example. Go get 25 and help those 25. And she said it. She said she can only help people that want to help themselves, right? So you got to focus on the right people, the people that really want to do it, right, Bianca?
Yes, correct. Yeah, that's not always easy, but of course, that's also us. Again, we have to give the right example so that they feel motivated, but also they have to put themselves their energy inside. So I don't ask from people to do 8 hours a day. I mean, it's impossible, but because when you're combining it with another job, of course, I mean, we really have to think of what Hutch said a lot of times, that part-time should be 2-3 hours a day. And when you talk about full-time, then it should be 4 or 5 hours a day. So we have to focus on that. At this moment, I cannot do it full-time yet. So I have to do it part-time as well. So I'm talking about 2-3 hours a day, sometimes more, of course, and then you take it off sleep or you take it off something else. But I mean, we have to put it in because we have to make sure that, of course, in the future that we have more time for ourselves. So at this moment, we might have a little less time, but later the idea is to have more time. So exactly. I want to give it a go.
Yeah. That is awesome. And then you also talked about that month-end push. For your marketing director, which we've all been there. We've looked at the numbers and we've said, oh my God, and then that's when you start pulling out all the stops. Yeah. Sometimes you're going to call people that maybe you wouldn't call, or you're going to call in some favors. You're like, hey, I know you've been thinking about it, but no more thinking about it. I need you to do it now. But that energy, you said it, energy, yeah. It creates energy and it creates momentum. And then Roger had to say to you, hey, you did it. You did it.
Correct. I didn't even see it myself. I thought I needed one more. I said, "Oh shit, I'm so close." And he says, "No, no, no, you're there."
I think you haven't really experienced the business until you go through that month end,
Yeah.
moment when you're going for that promotion. And I remember in my prior company, the way I recruited my brother, my older brother, was because I needed a sale and I needed a recruit at the last. And I had been trying to recruit him for like 4 years, I think. And I'm his little brother, so he didn't want to pay attention to me. And I called him and I said, "Hey, Omar, I need a favor, man. I need you to sign up." And he's like, "All right, Abel, I'll do it." And, and he, you know what? He's still in that company, the company that Frank and I left. He's still there, and
Okay.
he earns $400,000 a year with that company.
Wow.
So that little push, that month end push, that energy that you talked about, helped me change my brother's life. So I think that's pretty awesome. You never know what's going to come out of that. You never know.
Correct. Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this. So, people want to know, how do you do your business? Is it online? Is it offline? I know in Andorra, I've seen you guys do meetings. I've been in a couple of those meetings. What do you do to get in front of people? Is it online, offline, both?
I do it combined. So I do offline and online. And really, I take now, I must say now, because every time, I do a little bit more. But now, really, I use almost every possibility to talk about it, So I'm doing quite a lot of registration, as said. But sometimes I don't know if I'm a little bit pushy, so I have to work on that. Because sometimes then you turn people off, so they're not totally off, they're still there, but so I have to work on that a little bit. That's why also I think it would be very interesting, Abel, because I love the webinars that you're organizing and the interviews you're doing. I would like, for example, to hear from somebody who is already in a higher rank, really his or her daily tasks, what they do every
Daily
day,
routines.
So how is their day? Because now, I know, I think how my day would be if I could dedicate 100%. But also, for example, how can you do it in the 2-3 hours? Sometimes
That's a great idea.
Yeah, it's a challenge.
Okay. All right. So what I'm hearing from you is you do online and offline now. Even though you're in Andorra, do you only have people in Andorra, or do you have people in different countries?
I have people from different countries, but mostly living in Andorra at the moment. But I had also somebody in Curacao, but at this moment he's inactive. So yeah.
So most of your people are in Andorra.
Sorry.
Most of your people are in Andorra.
Yeah. Most of the people live in Andorra. Yeah.
And would you say that
Andorra, but they're from all kinds of countries.
Got it. And the people that you've brought into your business in Andorra, these are people that you've prospected face to face?
Mostly, yes. Yes.
So what would Bianca say to someone in Andorra? Maybe you ran across them through a referral, or you just met them somewhere in Andorra. How do you present in cruises? What do you do? What do you say? Just to give our people some ideas in terms of prospecting.
For example, the last one of the last partners that I entered, I don't know if he's here at the moment, Hugo. He's from Colombia, but for example, I knew him in BlaBlaCar. BlaBlaCar for me is a perfect way to prospect.
What is that? BlaBlaCar? What?
Oh, you don't know it?
No.
Really? Okay.
I'm learning something here today, Bianca.
It's fantastic, BlaBlaCar. BlaBlaCar is like an opportunity to share your car when you go somewhere. So you have an app, and you tell on your app, for example, I'm going to Valencia tomorrow, and at that time, and anybody who wants to come with me can just text me, Then over the app, they also you get reviews. So, for example, I'm a super driver.
Okay. We don't have that here. I like that.
It's really fun. It's really, really nice. So now, when you don't have that here, another hole in the market. But it's really beautiful. And then you speak with people. So I have quite a lot of prospects as well that I'm still working and talking with them, because also I want to be friends with them. I mean, if they don't want the business, no problem. I mean, I will still be friends. You know, it's not that I say bye.
Yeah.
But of course, my intention is also to speak them about the company and to try to have them with me. No, and another girl, for example, I met here in a bar restaurant that we have here close by in my town. And that was my husband that made me aware of her, because he said she wants to, do more things, and she is very good in events, and she has a lot of people, and maybe you could talk with her about the cruises. And I said, oh, thanks, darling. So it's funny, because normally Jaume is not really into this business, but he's helping me. So it's fun. It
That's
was also
awesome.
nice that he said now, when I was almost marketing director, and I said, oh shit, I mean, I believe I have 2 or 3 still to go. And he said, now if you don't manage, I will become premium. Things like that.
The
So it
power
was
of
fun.
partnership.
Yeah, but we did not do it, huh? We did not do it yet.
You can
I
you
will
may
keep
need
it
him in the
further
future.
next. Correct.
He's a plan B. He's a plan
It's
B.
a plan B, correct.
Well, I think when, for those of us that have partners, wives, spouses, husbands, I think that the most important thing, that, because a lot of our partners say, oh, my wife, my spouse, they don't really support me. Well, the most important thing that you can do to change that is what Bianca has done, which is, she's stuck to it. A lot of times our partners, they want to see if we're serious. They want to see if we're for real. And obviously your partner has seen that in you, because you haven't given up, because you haven't quit, because he saw you going for a promotion. And then that's where I think the way we get our partners to be more supportive is with our example.
Hmm.
If they see us working hard, then they're like, okay, she's for real. So
Yeah,
they're going to want to help.
he's still not 100%, huh? But he's coming.
Hey,
He's coming.
but it's a start. It's a start. He's already
No,
willing to
correct,
become
correct.
premium. So
Mhm.
I love that. I love that. And what are your goals for the future? What do you want to accomplish? Is it national director? Obviously, your next
Of course,
rank would be
first business
senior
executive.
marketing director.
Correct. Yeah.
Do you see yourself doing big things here? Maybe going full time with us?
Yes. As soon as I reach a regional director, I will go full time.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, regional director, the income starts getting a little interesting, right?
Yeah. Before I cannot, but regional, yes, I will make the step.
But Bianca, like you said, I think we've got the greatest part-time opportunity in the world for people to build online, work their own schedule, go at their own pace, be their own boss. We market an intangible product. It's a sexy product. It's a fun product. It's travel. So I think we've really got the greatest part-time opportunity. And then if you do what you have to do, then you can turn it into something full-time. So the fact that we're able to give people that opportunity says a lot about our product and our service, right?
For sure, for sure. And also, what I love is the community. I mean, don't forget that, because of course that was also one of the things that helped me make the decision to go totally for in-cruises, because the community, it's fantastic.
And you're part of a fun team. I know a lot of the people on your
Yeah.
team.
Oh,
I
my
know
team
Rodrigo.
is great. We just have to get going a little bit more, but we can do it. Yeah.
But I think that's awesome. The fact that there's a community that you can plug into and people can plug into. Like I said, I've met several of the people on your team and Rodrigo's team. You've got a great upline in Rodrigo. He's got such a big heart. And I know that he wants to do special things too. So what are some of the things that you guys do with your team to create that community that maybe our people could do some of that?
Now we meet every Monday, and in person with the people in who are in Andorra, of course, and the ones who are not in Andorra. We give the possibility to make a Zoom, but that doesn't happen so much. It's more that, for example, the people that are here. Yesterday we were 8 people, 7, 8 people. Yeah. And we did then also a presentation online from the place where we are, because we meet in a hotel. And no, it's really nice, because there, of course, also you can ask your questions, or ask for a little bit of help, or it's really nice. And also we work with cross lines, not only with our team, we open to others, and I think that's beautiful too, because For example, I'm also now part together with Marga. She's also on my team. Great girl as well. She will also be team leader soon for sure.
Awesome.
But we were talking about. Sorry, we are in a group of ladies in, so women in,
I like
and
that.
that we do together with Crosslines. So nobody is from our team except for Marga and me. Others can join as well, but they have not done it yet. But if people here on the call are interested in being part, please tell me, because we're open to that. And that's just ladies. I'm sorry.
Only for ladies.
Only for ladies.
All right, only for ladies. So Rodrigo, you cannot
No,
be here, okay?
Rodrigo cannot be in there. But Rodrigo is almost everywhere else, so no problem.
And you
We
guys,
love-
so
we love Rodrigo.
you guys are really good at building communities, at meeting on a weekly basis. You also travel together. I know that you guys have done several cruises together.
Yeah.
You have fun together. You go out together. And I think that's important, right? Because it can't just be business all the time.
Yeah, we do barbecues in Andorra. It's also really nice in the summer. Yeah. Now we have a great time together, and I think that's important as well. A lot of people see us as well when we do all those things, and I think it's very interesting. We should continue doing that and do it more. Yeah.
Awesome. So how does it feel to be a marketing director? I know you're not done. I know you got bigger goals, but does it feel good? Does it feel good to get ranked up and get recognized?
Of course it feels good. Yeah, I was looking forward to that green color.
Yeah. Have you gotten your pin yet or not yet?
No, not yet. Not yet. No.
Okay, well, you'll be getting it soon. You'll be getting it soon at
I
one
got
of
the
our
bonus.
events.
I've seen the bonus. I've seen the first residual income coming in. I
Wow.
thought, yes, So yeah, it really works. It's really true.
It actually works, huh?
It actually works. Yeah.
That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Well, Bianca, any final thoughts as we close our webinar now? Anything you want to really tell our team, something that you feel could help them in their businesses?
Maybe, for example, one of the things that helped me was deciding on my new life motto. That was in times of COVID. That also helped in the whole trajectory, and that was "Be happy, feel great." So my motto is "Be happy, feel great," and that makes life really easy, because if I have to make a decision, I just ask myself, does it make me be happy and feel great? Yes, it stays. No, ciao. So that's really was a very important decision for me, and I think that not everybody has to make that one. They can make their own.
Exactly.
But if you take one life motto that helps you with your decisions, I think it is a strong one. Yeah.
That is awesome. So come up with your own life model, your team model, your business model. Stick to it. If what you're about to do jives with it, then keep it. And if it doesn't, ciao, ciao.
Correct. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Well, Bianca, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a privilege to interview you. I wish you nothing but success. I know your future is very bright. You're just getting started. Keep up the great work. Let's go for that next promotion as soon as possible. And as a homework assignment for all of you today, come up with your life model. Bianca's is be happy and feel great. What's yours? What's yours? What's something that you could really connect with that can help you build a business? I think that's an awesome tip. Bianca, again, congratulations. We love you very much. We admire and respect you very much. Let's go do great things together. I'll see you in Europe soon. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. And I look forward to seeing you next week on our Tuesday English Partner Training webinar. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I will look at the chat later.
All right. Thank you, Bianca.
See you.